There's a lot of water in the beautiful world of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and we're always told that the source of all that water is Zora's fountain. But does that even make sense? Boy, we're gonna find out. We see water in every single major area of the game. Of course in Zora's domain and Zora's fountain, but also flowing through the entirety of Hyrule Field, going through Gerudo Valley, and ending up in Lake Hylia. So here's how it's gonna happen. We're gonna go to the so-called source of this water, and we're gonna follow it through its entirety, and hopefully it's evenly dispersed throughout Hyrule, because the citizens of this world need water. Side note, the little pond in Desert Colossus does not count, because we made that happen via magic. All right, Joey C, roll the tape. Alrighty, here we are at supposedly the source of all the water in Hyrule, in Ocarina of Time at least. Zora's Fountain, where we have a giant fish over here, which, just ignore that guy. He probably, there's no probably about it. He definitely poops and pees in here. He's definitely contaminating this water, which is a bit concerning. And I'm not sure where this water comes from, right? But supposedly it flows throughout the entire world of Ocarina of Time, which we will see. This is just a beautiful little area. It is becoming nighttime, so let me change that real quick. I don't have the song unlocked. That's concerning. All I'm saying is this fish poops and pees in this water and contaminates it for the rest of Hyrule. And assuming that this is a natural spring, the water probably comes up from the very bottom, which we're not equipped to visit right now, but it goes all the way down there. And the reason we're here as a kid is because Zora's domain is frozen as an adult, although this area is unfrozen as an adult, so I guess we could have done that. But you know what? We want to show the water flow throughout the whole thing. So that's absolutely fine. So the fact is, all the water for Hyrule is all polluted by Lord Jabu Jabu, because the fish has to poop and pee, right? And the other part of the pollution for this water is the fact that King Zora is sitting on the water flow that goes down to the rest of Hyrule. So essentially, he's also polluting it as well. So let's go take a look at where this water leads, down this little tunnel, if you will, down this little waterfall here. Now, if we look at it, Lord Jabu Jabu's sitting there, so all the water is filtering through his balls and butthole. So that's all I'm saying. We do have two paths here, one to a giant waterfall, which we'll follow. Actually, we only have one path of water, so that's the only path we're gonna follow. I didn't mean to click on that. Here we go. And this is where we play the diving mini game, and this leads to the rest of Zora's domain. So all this poop and pee and butthole and balls water, this water can go all the way to Lake Hyrule through this little passage right here. But if we go up this ladder right here and exit Zora's domain, we will see that the water comes out on top where Zora's fountain is and leads all the way down to Hyrule. Okay, which is fantastic. We're going to follow this area down here, and we're just going to follow the flow of water here. Now, presumably, this is going to lead, actually not presumably at all, we're actually going to witness it. Get out of my way! God damn it. This is a really fantastic stream, folks, and I'm assuming that the water is then filtered through the rocks and stuff, so you get all the poop and pee and balls and butthole out of there. That would be pretty ideal. Get away from me! This is going to lead to Hyrule Field. So without further ado, let's swim all the way down to Hyrule Field and check that out, man. Beautiful. Now we do have a little sidetrack here. We got a little pond here. Not really too sure what the point of this is, but it's a little pond nonetheless, a little water reservoir, if you will. This stream is going to pass the entrance to Kakariko Village. And there is a well in Kakariko Village, so I'm assuming the water goes through the earth and then is deposited back up through the well in Ocarina of Time. I mean Kakariko Village. We are in Ocarina of Time. Let's just go take a quick peek at the well. Now, in Kakariko Village, I'm assuming their water source for this entire village. Now, mind you, it's not a very big village, but assuming it is this well right here. Now, it is important to note that right now, the well is dried up, which is not very good for the citizens of Kakariko Village. But if you go inside the bottom of the well, there is water there. We're not going to go all the way in there because it's very scary. But they do have two sources of water: the well and the nice river that flows right in front of Kakariko Village. So I'm assuming every day that's where they get their water from if they don't have a proper pump, which I'm assuming they don't, to actually bring it to the village. So let's go back out here and check out the river again. Now, back in Hyrule Field, this is where the river was, right where we left it. Now, it's very cool because it actually flows directly through Castletown, which is very nice. Now, it does go in through here and then come out here. It kind of acts as a moat, but I'm assuming that there's also a section directly behind this little pillar here that brings the water in to Castletown. So the folks, if anybody does live in Castletown, they do have water. But they do have shops and other market goods there, so they're going to need water, right? So that satisfies that need. Now, following the water all the way around the moat that surrounds Castletown and eventually Hyrule Castle, we come here. We come to a nice little edge here, okay, into the brick again. So they do have a dedicated sewer system, it seems, which is good news. I got to be honest with you. That's pretty fantastic. Now, it's also important to note that it goes through the rock here, and we're going to have to make a slight detour because humans are not allowed in the sewer system, apparently. Over here, we have a widened section of the river, which is pretty fantastic. The game developers really thought this through. It comes up through the brick and then down here. Now, what the point of this is, I'm assuming, is just to get from point A to point B, which is over here, and this river is eventually going to lead to the river that flows through Gerudo Valley, and God knows that desert needs it, so that's pretty fantastic. What was that just happened in front of me? I'm actually not too sure. I'm assuming that was a Stalkid or a Stalfos or whatever that spawned in the water. So we are in the midst of nighttime, and it's scary. So this is where we last see the water until we get all the way around to Gerudo Valley. Okay, so here we go. Let's go there. I'll meet you there. We got a lot of rock to walk around, so I'm assuming it's a direct shot between Gerudo Valley and Hyrule Field, but humans, we gotta go the long way. Oh God, get away from me. Okay, that was a long walk. Let's go into Gerudo Valley here. Now, when we get in here, we're gonna see that we do have a little pool right here with a nice little waterfall, which is very cute. So I'm assuming this is just a natural spring out of the rock, right? Separate from the main water source of Hyrule. But this is nice, clean, natural area, which is pretty good. Although there are fish there, I'm not sure if anybody is going to be drinking from this water per se, but the main water source of Hyrule is coming back out here. Now, as we walk over the bridge, we're going to see it right here. This is where we see the water coming out of from that little river that we saw. Big ravine here, nice, beautiful waterfall down here, and this is going to flow directly in front of Gerudo Valley. And we're going to just dive right off here, folks. Whoa, baby! That's a nice dive. That was perfect form. And we're going to follow this river all the way down to Lake Hylia, Hyrule's biggest water source in the entire game, which is a fantastic and beautiful, beautiful area. I mean, look at this. All this water comes directly from the fountain. Oh, God, get away from me. What are you doing, dude? I got no time for your business. That is a lot of water, folks. Hyrule is not running out whatsoever. Now, there are a couple of more places we need to check out. So, as we know, this water flows from Zora's Fountain, through Hyrule Field, through the rock, and through Gerudo Valley, and back here. But we also have one little area that comes directly from Zora's domain, which, if you've played this game, you know there's a little door here, a little passageway that leads directly to Zora's domain. And that, I'm assuming water can flow directly through that, which is pretty fantastic. So this, oh my god, there's a heart piece there. Well, I'm playing the randomizer version if you couldn't tell, because it was the one that I had loaded up. Now, there's one last natural spring that I want to take a look at in this game, and it's at the Fishing Hole, a beautiful and secluded and peaceful area of Hyrule. Let's check it out. Here's the fishing pond, a beautiful area. I love this area so much. One of my favorite areas in the game. It's just so peaceful. I could hang out here and smoke. I meant to say read a book. I'm not sure why smoking came out of that. That was a Freudian slip, apparently. We do have a natural spring right here. To me, it makes sense that it's coming directly from Kakariko Forest. And we're going to take a look at where that water's coming from a nice little presentation from real life Joey C. So take it away, Joey C. Now you're probably wondering, how does this little secluded fishing hole get water? Well, let me tell you, it comes directly from Kakariko Forest, which then gets water from Zora's domain. It all wraps around in a nice big circle. You see, the source of the water comes from Zora's Fountain. Then it goes directly into Zora's domain, which then it goes off in two paths. One path goes to Lake Hylia, and the other path goes directly to Hyrule Field. Once it gets in Hyrule Field, it makes a nice big loop. It goes past Kakariko Village, Castle Town, and eventually into the mountains for Gerudo Valley. When it gets into Gerudo Valley, it turns into a giant waterfall and river, which then eventually flows down a giant valley into the biggest water source in the world, Lake Hylia. And Lake Hylia is being filmed from this wonderful stream that's coming through Hyrule Field all the way up to Zora's domain, and Zora's domain itself, because it has a direct path from Zora's domain to Lake Hylia. It actually makes sense. The designers of the game really thought about the hydrology of Hyrule before they actually designed the map. I'm very impressed. I can't believe it all makes sense. Look at this map. It makes so much sense. It's beautiful. Absolutely fantastic, folks. Do you know how that makes me feel? It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Folks, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate that. If you want to support me, you can go to patreon.com/officialjoeyc for all your exclusive Joey C needs. You can also become a YouTube channel member for the same perks of Patreon. Thank you to my YouTube channel members and my Patreon supporters. I greatly appreciate that. If you want to follow me on Twitch, you can go to twitch.tv/officialjoeyc. We do a lot of live streams there. That's really fun. We just kind of all hang out and play video games. It's a pretty good time. Folks, if you know something that you want to see me examine next, let me know in the comments below. Join my Discord. We do a lot of examinations on this channel. Restaurants, construction sites, bathrooms, you name it, we do it. Consider hitting the subscribe button. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. That would mean a lot to me. If you want to unsubscribe, that's okay too. It's a two-way street, folks. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Keep your eye out for the next video, episode, movie, live stream, whatever it is, man. Listen. Cherish the precious moments. Be loved. And stay, dude. Turn the green screen off. Good Lord. I'm sweating. Do you understand how hot it is? I had to turn my AC unit off to film this because it's really loud. I'm going to go eat some dinosaur chicken tenders and get out of here. Alrighty.